Okay, what's our next project? This is a Yatsubusa elm. Yatsubusa is Japanese for dwarf. So this is a dwarf variety of elm. I'm not sure what they mean by dwarf. Well, elm could go 30, 40 feet. Maybe this only goes 20 feet. I'm not sure because I've never seen a Yatsubusa elm in nature. But anyway, I've had this thing for, 30 some odd years. I think I bought a little seedling somewhere, and now it's gotten big. Well, you can see that it needs work, so that's what we're going to do today, is to work on this Yatsubusa elm. The point is to get rid of all these things that's growing on the trunk. Well, they just kind of popped out all of a sudden. So I'll get rid of this, and so we could see what we have to work with. So that'll be my first step. Okay, I got the sucker growth along the trunk, well, at least the lower trunk out. So next, what I'm going to do is to start trimming these like this so that we could see what we have. Basically, get rid of these tall ones that making it difficult to see what we have. And that's half the problem when we have a situation like this. We can't remember what we were doing. So going back and getting rid of the stuff that is obvious, don't belong, and to decide what we should do next. You know, we're at that time of the year when these just came out of dormancy. And one thing about the dormant season is when they go to sleep and wake up again, they get very vigorous. I have a friend in Southern California has a bonsai nursery, and their temperature tends to be more mild. And so a lot of times the Chinese elms do not go dormant. Versus here, it gets really cold, so most of the time they go dormant. Well, after the dormant season, it comes back with a lot more growth. It's like waking up from a deep sleep, you feel refreshed. Well, the same thing that happens to elms and a lot of the deciduous. So I was comparing notes with my friend, and I'm getting better growth than he does. And so the downside is when it comes out of dormancy, we got all this tremendous growth that you have to get rid of. That's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm more into the style process, or trying to remember what the style was. Some of these grew a little bit too big, and I'm still trying to find my main line, the form in here. So that's what I'm doing now. But when it's this thick, it's really hard to see. So I have to take it kind of slow and easy. I don't know whether you could see this part here. I think this grew afterwards. There's a nice line here, and this one, gone. That's the kind of stuff. This branch right here, it just kind of came up randomly, so boop, comes off. And I got a bunch of them like that, I guess. Okay, now it's starting to kind of shape up. These just came out and then grew tall, trying to take up this space, which it shouldn't have. Okay, now, should I make a mistake? No big deal, because this is the beginning of the growing season. Even if I took off all the leaves, they'll come right back anyway. So I have that going for me here that is starting to form. But those little things that came up from down here was getting in the way of my progress. So, well, we are making progress. Sure is a lot of growth on this thing here. All this doesn't belong, so cut those off. Okay, so I got things here that needs pruning. Shorten these. I think I'm getting close to being finished for this phase. I'm just not sure whether I should do anything with this. Do I keep this or not? Well, there's some stuff that's coming from the inside, those will come off. But this looks like it's stuck on the root, so I might keep part of that. So let me get in there and decide. So this is the back side. This is Hiro saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. So this was the Yatsubusa elm. I did not repot it, mainly because it looks healthy. And on the Chinese elm, especially if you want to try to make it into a bonsai, you don't want to repot too soon. Everything comes back with too much vigor and really hard to keep it small, the leaves small. So as long as the plant is healthy, keep it healthy yet root bound. This is Hiro saying goodbye, and I'll see you again in another chapter. And if you enjoy these videos, please tell your friends. Having some thoughts about this. To cut this, and because it has a nice base over here and some greenery, I think I could make it into an interesting bonsai. Should this get removed, I think there's enough interest that it'll be okay. But I haven't made the final decision, and when I do, you'll be sure to see, because I'll get this camera out and shoot that section. Anyway, bye again.